One of the most common ways to obtain a green card and the immigration benefits it provides is through work. About 140,000 are issued each year. There are many different kinds of jobs that can qualify and some eligibility rules and application procedures to keep in mind. In this video, we will cover an overview of the application process, employment rules, accepted worker categories, and forms you will need to fill out and submit while applying. And when you're done watching, make sure to click the link in our video description below for more information and links to important documents you will need. Here's an overview of the application process. As with most green card applications, there are two parts. The first is getting a visa. There are three main types of employment visas, which are known as EB1, EB2, and EB3. The visa choice will depend on what sort of work you will be doing, but they all involve filling out a Form I-140. Spouses and unmarried children under 21 of beneficiaries may also apply for their own visa. After the visa application has been processed, you can apply for what is called adjustment of status to get you on your way to a green card. But if you're still out of the country, you can complete the process by applying for a green card through a U.S. foreign embassy or consulate, which is known as consular processing. There are some timing considerations to think about with this phase of the application, which we'll cover later. The first thing you might be wondering is, do I have to have a job before I start the process? It depends, but probably yes. In most cases, the employer, who is called the petitioner, will start the application process by asking for a visa on behalf of the employee, who is known as the beneficiary. After the visa is granted, the employee could finish the job. In a couple of cases, however, the beneficiary may begin the application without a job offer. One thing to keep in mind for employers, in many cases you will have to obtain what is known as a labor certification before the worker may begin. This process involves a separate application with the U.S. Department of Labor and requires proving that 1, there are not sufficient workers already in the U.S. to do this job intended for the prospective immigrant, and 2, hiring the prospective immigrant won't depress the wages of similar workers in the United States. Obtaining a labor certification can be a challenging and lengthy process that takes a year or two to complete, so employers should plan ahead. The first category of workers who can apply are those who would receive an EB1 visa. These workers are pretty rare. They include those with extraordinary abilities like Nobel Prize winners, who would not need a job offer to apply. It also includes recognized professors and researchers or high-level business executives. Those people do need a job offer, but not a labor certification. The second category of workers would receive EB2 visas. This includes workers with advanced degrees and people with exceptional abilities. You don't need to be a Nobel Prize winner, but you should be experienced in your field, and you need a job offer and a labor certification. It also includes workers in the national interest waiver category, who don't need a job offer. These are workers who can fill jobs especially in need in the United States. Doctors who are willing to work in rural or undeserved areas of the country are good candidates. The third category of workers are those in the EB3 visa category. These include professionals, which are workers whose job requires some kind of postgraduate certificate, like lawyers or accountants, skilled workers, and unskilled workers. Everyone in this category needs both a pending job offer and a labor certification. If you meet one of these categories, either you or your employer may begin by filling out the Form I-140. One thing to keep in mind with this form is that different visa categories will have specific kinds of materials that must be included to demonstrate that the worker belongs in that category. For example, those applying under the advanced degree category would need to include a copy of a diploma or other evidence that you meet the educational requirements. If you're already in the United States, the next step is filling out Form I-485. Form I-485 is the application to adjust an immigrant's status to that of a lawful permanent resident and is used by almost every kind of green card applicant. Employment-based applicants will have to fill out Supplement J to Form I-485, and if the person who is giving you a job is a relative, Form I-864 as well. As to timing, you can submit Form I-485 as soon as the visa is immediately available. A visa is available when your priority date, which is either the date the Form I-140 was received or the date a labor certification was filed, is earlier than the dates for your particular visa category published in the State Department's monthly visa bulletin. If you filed an I-485 and are awaiting a response and the recipient of your green card, you should be able to work in the country, either as a temporary non-immigrant or by filing for a temporary work authorization. If you're still outside of the country, you'll go through consular processing instead of filling out Form I-485. As soon as the visa sought on your behalf in the I-140 is available, you'll be notified by the National Visa Center, and you may then contact the embassy or consulate in your home country to schedule an interview. Once that application process is completed, you can come to the United States and expect to receive the green card about 6 weeks after being admitted by Customs and Border Patrol. Were eForms the biggest online database of legal documents? We have covered a bit about green cards and employment, but there's more to know. Head to the link below this video for free information and links to all of the forms that you will need to start your application process.